Welcome to One-on-One with Expert Flyer. This is your host, Lisa Caslin, and we are back with you today to share some of the results of a really neat survey that we did. We queried about 1,300 business travelers just to kind of get a pulse on what was going on, both from a corporate level regarding travel and also, how this has been affecting folks day to day in being productive and doing their job. So our guest is Pat Frgali, and he is the Executive Vice President of the Corporate Travel Division of Valerie Wilson Travel, and he's going to talk a little bit about this with us today. How you doing, Pat?
Hi, Lisa. How are you today?
I am great, and I'm so happy that you had the time to come and join us.
My pleasure. Thank you for the offer and including me.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit. Valerie Wilson Travel has been, a friend of ours for a long time, but just talk a little bit about the agency and the corporate travel division and some of the stuff that you're working on.
Okay. So Valerie Wilson Travel, unbeknownst to many people, we're actually 50% leisure and 50% corporate. The perception out there is that we're a luxury leisure travel agency or TMC, travel management company. So 50% of that business is actually corporate. I came to Valerie Wilson Travel about 2.5 years ago, actually almost 3. And before that, I was the president and chief operating officer of Direct Travel for 15 years, which is about a $4 billion agency now. Sold that in 2013. And then moved over to Pro Travel and managed that, which was a luxury leisure house with some corporate. After that, I decided that I was going to buy an agency. So I was looking around, was going to buy an agency in New Jersey, and I needed to align myself with a major player. And I've known Val, Jen, and Kimberly for 20 years. And I felt what better opportunity than to side and partner with them. So it would give me what's called the power of access and enable me to have great opportunities and show my clients great service and savings. And in going down that path, Val and Jen and Kim came to me and said, we're family-owned, family-run for the last 38 years. We want to take this to the next level, and we'd love to have you join us and help us get there. We feel that we can take suggestions from you. We know you, we love you, and we trust you, rather than someone that we would just bring in from the outside and having to get to know them. So I switched tracks. Rather than being an owner, I decided to partner with Val, Jen, and Kim and explore this opportunity. And here I am 2.5 years later, loving it. And I think the difference for this company versus others is they have a passion for the business. They have a heart and soul, and they have a heartbeat. And that was really important to me. I've worked for family businesses before, and I've worked for public companies before, and they really do run this professionally, and they enable me and empower me to be able to have some really good influence on the direction of the company in the future. My focus is corporate, although I dabble in many other things within the company. But, we focus on lots of international travel. We're about 75-80% international, giving you pre-pandemic. We think that, when we come out of this, and we'll be stronger than ever. We've taken the last 6 months and done what I don't know a lot of companies have done. Rather than really do a lot of downsizing, we did all the projects that we were never able to do because we were so busy. So enhanced a lot of the procedures, enhanced a lot of the technology, really honed in on customer experiences. And, we're more of a consulting firm than an order taker. Actually, even in the corporate side, when I'll go out and discuss a business opportunity, we want to make sure that it's a right fit. So there's really an interview on both sides. If it's just churning, we're really not interested in that. If we can help you manage your program and help you and be a consultant, that's more important than just the fulfillment aspect of what we do, because we help people create experiences. We help people do major movements on the group side. We help people with their corporate structure. We'll consult and show them different corporate travel policies and maybe come up with a new recipe that's really good and advantageous for that particular company. We'll take like spends and tell them what others are doing. We do a lot of benchmarking. So it's not just the typical pick the phone up and book a trip. We really want to be a partner with you, and I think now more than ever, it's really important that you have a strong ally on the travel side if you're going to go out and do any type of traveling, both, I would say, domestic, internationally, but both definitely leisure and corporate. You know, you want to know that where you're going. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I'm so delighted that you're bringing that up, and I think that the role of the travel agent has really changed over the past 20 years, particularly since, these online booking sites have really sort of, risen in favor. But when you get into a situation like the one that we're in now, you absolutely need a trusted advisor and somebody who really knows the ins and the outs and has the contacts to allay your fears, explain the policies, and, just put your mind at ease. And I would think, on the corporate travel side where, this isn't a choice necessarily all the time, right? You're doing business, and in order to get that business done, you have to travel, So having somebody, like your firm to kind of be the backbone of all of that, I can't imagine how a company really would do it without it.
You know what? A lot of people attempt to, but reality is when they're faced with a situation, they're out there on their own. So to have an advocate, and our business has really evolved. We're doing a lot more due diligence per trip now, and we need to, by the way. We want to make sure that if we're putting our name on it, that we've done the homework on behalf of the traveler or the client, and we're ensuring that their safety is first and foremost. And the people that we partner with and the companies that we partner with, I can't tell you how over the top airlines and hotel businesses have been with wanting to do the right thing, safety first, cleanliness first, just making sure that experience is what perception's reality. And what we don't need is for individuals to have a bad experience or to not have the representation that we're offering. So we now take extra steps. If we book a hotel room for a day, a week, or a month, or a villa, or whatever we do, or whatever we book, we have these questionnaires that we send out real time that we get feedback when we do that booking, and we have the hotel commit to services that they're currently offering and that they're going to offer for that particular stay. If we book now for something a month or two out, we'll do it at the time of booking, and we do it a couple of days before departure. So again, we're holding the property accountable. We're getting the latest information as to what's offered, what's top of mind right now, touchless check-in, touchless access into your room, everything on the smartphone. There's going to be opportunities down the road where guest compendiums, room service, how you manage the TV in the room, everything's going to be on your PDA because we're trying to minimize touch points, and the hotel industry is trying to minimize touch points. It really is difficult for the 4- and 5-star properties because they're used to giving amazing, touchy-feely, great service. So it's evolving. Well, and
I think that your point is well taken, and I think that having that sort of additional layer that kind of allows you to communicate all of that to the client is wonderful. But I think we're still missing something on the air travel side, and this survey, 62% of respondents felt that, these self-regulated safety measures by the airlines and the hotels were just not enough. So, I think it's great that, you guys have this, practice in place with the hotels. But, what do we do about the airlines, and how are you kind of managing that to, allay the fears of air travelers?
it's, again, about relationships. We have direct access to many of the legacy carriers and many of the international carriers. But with reference to, let's call it Delta, American, United, really the big three, in our office, now virtual, but in our office, weekly phone conversations daily. If we have a challenge, we're able to reach out to them. Things that we're able to do, the individual traveler is not able to do, even if they're at a high status. We're going to get the inside track on, are you really blocking the middle seat? Are you mandating masks? What is the cleaning methodology? What's the protocol that you're doing? Talk to me about a HEPA filter and let me understand what that really means. So we have these sessions that we do with these airlines where we invite our clients, we invite our employees, we invite our associates. And we get the inside track on the process, what they're doing, how they're doing it. And I got to tell you, I have no problem getting on a plane right now. I think it's probably one of the safest and cleanest environments to be in. Think about these new filtration systems they have. They're swapping out air in the cabin every 1 to 3 minutes. And the way they have this flow now, it comes in on the top and it goes out on the bottom within the same seat area. So it's not like you're feeling and touching other people's air. And to have it swapped out every 2 to 3 minutes makes me feel good. It's something that wasn't done in the past.
I'm not sure, how exactly that works, but I think that there were a couple of issues that, we've discussed in the past with, with other experts, and, the HEPA filter has come up. And I think one of the cautions was that, yes, every airline, every U.S. carrier has these HEPA filters, but not every single aircraft in their fleet does. So,
right.
You might be on a flight that does not actually have this HEPA filtration system. And then the other issue is if you're not, monitoring the mask wearing, if I'm sitting next to you on a plane and I cough, that HEPA filter isn't catching those germs before, you know what I mean? So
right.
I think there's still some things to be cautious about. Not to say that you throw the baby out with the bathwater, but I think there's still a lot of questions that have not really been answered fully.
We talked earlier about I think now we're living. This is the new way, right? So the new way is going to be. We're really cognizant of what we touch, who we're talking to, what social distance is, and a lot of these things we really took for granted over the years. Think about if I jump on the E train in New York, or if I go to a concert at the Garden, or if I'm in a long TSA line, or I am on a plane and I'm last aboard instead of first. There's a lot of interaction that maybe we should have before. It shouldn't have taken this crisis for us to recognize that there are certain things that we should have been doing all along. So True. I think if we put things in perspective, and if everybody goes that extra step, and of course including the airlines and the hotel business, but we're talking about airlines right now, they're making a really strong effort to do extra, to really make the traveler feel comfortable and safe. It's not like they're smoke and mirroring it. It's not like they're saying we're going to do these and we're doing this and we're not going to do it. Believe me, I think over the next year or two, until things come back to whatever that new normal is, and I'm hoping sooner than later, of course, that, we need to – I'm all about trusting the airlines and the hoteliers on – they have families. They're living this with us. It's not like they're in a bubble and they're just trying to, again, smoke and mirror the traveler. They're on these aircraft. Their employees are on these aircraft. They're pilots. They're flight attendants. They're maintenance crews. They can't be exposing them to this danger as well. So that's why I sort of have a different spin on the trust factor than maybe some of the survey results. But, again, I think that it's an opportunity for us to step it up globally. and for us to really recognize that we all need to do more to make this a great environment and for us to get back to whatever that new norm is.
Can I ask you your opinion on, do you think that the government should be mandating what the policies and health and safety standards are, or do you think that the airlines are, well equipped to self-manage that?
You know what? We're America. So if we start mandating everything from the government, it's going to lose some of its panache. Mm-hmm. So I think that I'm all about the airlines. I don't think you need government regulation with the airlines. I think that there should be certain standards that everyone has to abide by, but I don't know about government regulations. I think that I'm totally confident with Delta, American, and United to be able to do the right thing. And then off of them, by the way, it's that hub and spoke. So there are so many other affiliates and partners that go out of that reach area. So, I can't really talk for a lot of the international carriers other than the conversations and communications that we have. They are game on. They're all over this opportunity to make it better, make it safer, and make it cleaner.
Yeah.
Because again, there's no one that's not affected by this.
No, it's true. It's true. All right, so let's move on a little bit to, the impact that these restrictions have had on businesses. It's something like 45% of those that were surveyed said that the travel ban has drastically impacted their business. What do you think? Because I know that Valerie Wilson has been doing their own survey. So are you seeing, sort of a similar sentiments?
Oh, definitely. Now, impacted the business to where, again, we're in the travel business, so, it really hit us. But with the clients that we service, they're to a point now where, hey, you know what, Zoom was great, Teams or Google or however you want to do the virtual thing, but that's not getting out and touching the customer. That's not getting out and looking eye to eye at someone, and they really feel the need now more than ever. So we're starting to see some activity. I was happy to see that, that a lot of participants in this survey were open to a vaccine, even if it's not 100%. I mean, what's 100%? I get a flu shot every year. Doesn't mean I won't get the flu, but I'm going to take that precaution because it's going to minimize my exposure. So I really think they're on track. Good. So if you were what would your parting words be about, I guess the near-term future, and, are we going to recover? Is the travel yeah. You know what? I've been doing this for, 35, 40 years, 20 years in the hotel business as a GM and a VP of operations, and then 20 years on this side. We've all been through a lot. We've been through SARS. We've been through 9/11. We've been through stock crashes. Everything is sort of unique to this. No one had a playbook for this. But the human interaction is so key to our culture globally that this too shall pass. Amen. Don't know when. I'm hoping, by the end of the year. Is it really politically motivated? Is it politically and scientifically motivated? Is it a combination of both? I think a lot of things are going to shake out within the next 2 to 3 months. And I think we'll be at some type of new norm first quarter of 2021. As far as people making commitments to travel, now is the time to do it for future bookings. The hotels and the airlines have never been as lenient and forgiving as they are on deposits, on refundable opportunities, on really, really flexing, change fees. So I can only say that we've got a lot of clients that are booking now for festive and for first quarter in 2021 where they're not so concerned that they're going to get burned because the deposits are less that are being required, if at all. And the commitments, if we have something that's coming up for final payment, we're able to reach out to that vendor and say, due to circumstances, we need to go closer to the departure date. No problem. they're all working with us. Now, would they do that to an individual traveler? They probably would.
I was just going to ask that question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think that's where, and again, I'm not trying to sell here, but what we do, a lot of people, I've got 6 kids. They go online, they do their own thing. But I love when a traveler calls me and says, I'm stuck at an airport, can you help? And we say, we don't see the booking in the system.
They probably don't like about that.
They go, I did it on my own. Well, if you did it on your own, we'll help you, but we have less latitude to be able to help you if we didn't procure that trip from the beginning, because we don't own that trip with you. So we're sort of intervening after the fact. But now more than ever, it's important to have. Look, when you do your taxes, my college kids go on TurboTax, but others, they rely on a professional. They go to an accountant. If I go to a doctor, I'm not going to. I'm going to go to the best. I'm going to go to someone. All these professional services are out there for a reason, because that's their area of expertise. So for a few pennies that you have to pay in order to get these services, and by the way, whatever is being charged by any agency out there, you usually recoup that back in value add, in savings, or in some type of preferred negotiated rate. So there's always a way to recoup that initial, whether it's a consulting fee, whether it's a trip planning fee, or whether it's a transaction fee. We're not non-for-profit. We're not going to do it, just at a gratis. But you get a lot for the exposure. So if we're charging something, and this is the entire industry I'm talking about, there's a reason we're charging, because time is money, and it takes us time to be able to do everything that I've just explained to you. And the return on investment on the client side is, when you're stuck and you need some help, there's someone there 24/7. And we're going to ensure that experience is what we represented. And if not, we're going to intervene while you're on the trip, not after the fact. We're not going to say, I'm sorry you had that problem. We're going to try to get some remuneration back to you. We want to turn that situation real time and make that experience a great one, whether it's corporate or leisure.
Yeah. People talk about travel insurance all the time. Having a travel agent representing you is, almost on an equal level when we talk about ensuring safety, ensuring the viability of your trip. So I couldn't agree more. Listen, it's been great talking to you. Tell us all, what is the website that folks should be visiting to check out
ValerieWilsonTravel.com.
Perfect.
And that will give you an amazing offering. It explains our leisure offering, our corporate offering, our meetings and incentives. There are great suggestions, now that we're focusing more on domestic than international, obviously, with the challenges. We have a lot of great opportunities domestically that we've put on the website so that you can have that experience. And you'll see a plethora of advisors on the website as well. So you reach out to us, we're going to get someone to call you back, and we're going to create a great experience. And again, corporate or leisure, we're busy. We're busy client servicing. Not a lot of new bookings, but things are improving. A year ago we would look at business. Everyone would look at their business and say, let me look this month versus last year, same month, or let me look year over year. Now the new methodology is, let's look week over week. Let's just see that we're improving week over week and throw away the past, because how we did things in the past isn't how we need to do things in the future.
Good. Well, listen, I wish you and your whole team a lot of luck and hopefully smooth sailing into 2021.
We are excited, and thank you very much for the opportunity, and we will be here to help you and whomever else needs it.
Thanks, Pat. Have a great one.
Thanks, Lisa. Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye-bye.